talking about Hanuman, which is an upcoming production that Vishwa Shanti is going to be putting together on April 26th. So let me begin by asking Shreelata Akka, as you know, how would you describe the essence of Vishwa Shanti's philosophy for using Bharatanatyam in storytelling?
I think the personal experience that I have is whenever I dance, I feel joy. And I think that's one thing I really wanted to instill in every single student of Vishwa Shanti, that you're doing this for yourself. It doesn't matter if you have an audience. It doesn't matter if you are dancing on stage or not. But anytime you dance, it is your expression, and therefore your expression of complete wholeness, complete joy. And when we talk about that, we talk about all the mythological characters we portray and the spiritual essence that every single character brings to dance and brings to our lives. I think that's what is the purpose of our entire, the very need to teach is more important that way, yes.
Absolutely, very rightly said. And you mentioned very gently about the spiritual aspect, using mythology as well to be inculcated as a part of the learning experience. Roopa, as a teacher and senior artist, what has been your experience in driving the vision of this philosophy with youngsters today, especially when you are trying to bring them together for a production, which is hard to explain in terms of, like, you know, it's not an individualistic perspective, it's a group perspective. So how do you deal with and putting this across to every child in who come to you for teaching?
I think, first of all, this initially when any child comes to join a dance class is primarily through a parent's push. The parents want the kid to come and join the dance class because they want them to either keep in touch with their culture or keep it as a learn an art form in some way or the other so that they are still in touch with their culture. So I think when the kids come and join the classes, initially, yes, it is more of a hobby for them or just another extracurricular activity that they do at the end of the day, one class a week. And, in their multiple classes, they sometimes end up attending on the same day. They have a soccer first and then they have a dance class and then they have a kumon. So initially, yes, it does start like that with kids, but then we try to kind of, when we teach, we try to try to tell them how dance is not just a basic activity, not just an art form, but how it slowly starts instilling in you certain qualities like discipline, time management, not giving up on things, and kind of trying it over and over again, and not to give up, and trying, like if they don't get a step or something like that, gently nudging them to try it one more time. Try it a little differently, try it this way, think of this as a cue that will help you remember it better and stuff like that. That is when I think the students themselves start enjoying the art form, not just as a mere extracurricular activity, but as something that's going to be with them for the rest of their lives.
Something that grounds them, right, and brings them back to something that grounds them and allows them to, like, come back to even when the day is probably not the best. So
correct. Yeah, I mean it is actually a stress reliever. And so when kids, the older kids especially, when they come and tell us that, yes, I had I have so many tests coming, I have this project coming, but I just wanted to come to dance class, auntie, because it just kind of helps me relieve my thing. I think that is when we as teachers succeed in kind of putting that seed in their head that dance is not, it's not an activity. It is something that is going to be with you for the rest of your life. So I think that is the philosophy we teachers kind of try to instill in our students when they come to dance class. Of course, there are successes. Of course, there are failures. But I think many of the kids who ultimately end up being part of the production or stuff like that, they do really enjoy the process. Yes, it gets very stressful at times, but at the end of the day, they really love being there. So I think that is what we as teachers in Vishwa Shanti kind of try to instill in our students.
Wonderful, amazing. All right, I know that Akka, you've done so many productions. Like, we've had conversations about the multiple productions that are, like, spiritually inclined, and also, but at the same time, I wouldn't say, I don't want to use the word spiritual, but philosophically inclined to to showcase either mythology or a philosophy very deeply through Bharatanatyam.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about Hanuman, and what was the idea or the inception point at which you started thinking, oh, we would like to take Hanuman as a production.
Well, there were two different aspects. First of all, when we thought about what would our next one be, when we thought about Ramayana, Mahabharata, or whatever, we didn't want to go over the entire thing, but we want to pick one character that would stay with everyone. What is that one character? We don't want to be the the perfect being in Rama, or Sita, who's always been depicted as the one who has always been hurt, or the one who somehow did not resonate with us. But when we thought about Hanuman, it somehow felt right for us, primarily because of the faith that he has, the devotion that he has, the strength that he has. And on to cap it all, I think it's the humbleness that comes across every time you think of the character of Hanuman. He was powerful. He was reminded of his strength. He grew to enormous proportions. But all through that entire process, the only goal was to deliver the ring to Sita. Irrespective of how many obstacles that came in his way, that praised him, that prevented him, but still he said, no, that's one thing that I want to do. I have given my word. I want to do that. And therefore that. And in many other ways, we thought that Hanuman somehow resonated with us. And I always say Hanuman Chalisa, and anytime I start saying it, more than just the rhythm of it, it is, I end up doing the emotions in my head as I chant it. And I'm like, wow, it is one character you can always relate to in some way or the other. And again, as we bring about this production, it is how man today would be if he were Hanuman. How we look for that mentor like we have in Jambavan, how we want that sole purpose, how we want that devotion, a goal to have a faith, have that leap of faith and succeed. And even in that success, let not ego hurt you. Again, be that humble person and give back to the society in any way and every way you can. So somehow relating Hanuman to today's world, to man, I think was something that was important to us.
Wow, how beautiful and poignant, Akka. This is so beautiful. And I always, whenever we watch your shows, I think that is one takeaway of humanity that always stands apart, of how can it be connected to our everyday reality. And really, really looking forward to watching this on 26th. If I may ask both of you, when you start to choreograph based on this vision, but what are some of the challenges, especially for this particular piece? Like you mentioned about how the aspects of humanness you were able to bring about in Hanuman. Other than that, what is like the most challenging part, or like the part where it just clicked and said, okay, this is where this becomes really exciting, and this is how the production is going to start getting weaved into these bodies?
I think it's a process that the two of us keep working with, along with our bodies. Sometimes we imagine the bodies there. Sometimes we draw it in figures and say, okay, this figure is going to move. And when the bodies do come and how the bodies move, it's like, that's exactly what we wanted. But hey, can we move this around this way and move around this way? So I think that is exciting, always exciting in a group production. And I think when we first talk about what we want, and eventually when the music comes across, and I'm like, this is what he's expecting us to do, and this is what we were thinking. How do we put it all together? So I think.
Can you talk a little bit about the music? I know that this particular production has an original music composition. So could you talk a little bit about the music and also the literature behind it, or the research that you have used for the particular music behind it?
Do you want to say that, Roopa, or?
Sure. So the music has been done by Shri Venkatasubramiam, who's from Chennai. He is a very well-known composer, lyricist in Chennai, and actually he's done one of our previous productions, Samudra Manthan, which we staged a few years back. I think it begs restaging. Watch out for that, maybe very soon. But he did the music for that, and that is actually that is a piece of music that all of us really, really enjoyed. We've done that. We've done the production a couple of times, but somehow that music kind of just lingered in our minds, and then we were like, okay, why not reach out to him and see if he's available to do the music for us as well this time. And so we reached out to him, and he also wrote the lyrics for
Okay.
it. So the best thing was when Shreelata contacted him and said, we're thinking of doing a production on Hanuman, and we want you to do the thing for you. He was so quick. He was like he immediately, within a few days, if I'm not mistaken, he got back to Shreelata saying, okay, can we do this? We were like,
Wow.
oh, whoa, okay. So yes, we did have some ideas in mind. We did say this is what we want, this is
That's
what we are
great.
thinking of doing. But of
Yeah.
course, sometimes you have the vision in your head, and then you meet a person who vibes with
Jones
you
along.
the
Yeah.
exact same way. Then it just takes the production to a whole another level. So he came up with the lyrics for the whole production. He set up the music, and then he's arranged the music. He recorded it in India, and he sent it to us. And then so this time it there are many things there were a couple of stories which actually he suggested, which actually we did not know,
Oh, interesting.
which we are happy to be portraying this time. So when he came up with the story, when he says you could probably do a piece on this, we were like, oh, we didn't even know that something like this existed. So I was like, oh, that's news for us. Yes, we would love to do that.
Right.
So he is the one who's come up with the lyrics, wrote the lyrics for it, and then he set it to music. The lyrics are all in Tamil.
I'll just
He's written it in Tamil. Yeah, he's written it in Tamil, and we have some really good musicians who have given life to the music. We have some amazing jatis by Sri Vijay Raghavan. So
mm.
when we heard the jatis, it was just so, it
We've
just
got to
pumped
do
you up
this.
to.
Exciting. I think that's the
Yeah, we were just
excitement
so
that probably
literally
gives
jumping
me.
up and down when we listened to the jatis. And then, it was really nice to get some brand new jatis composed and, kind of set to talam just for the production. And then we have Kaushik Champakesan, who's given the vocal, who's done the vocal for he sung the entire music.
Oh,
So yeah, we
very
have
nice.
some really good music for the production, and we are just so grateful and thankful to Shri Venkatasubramiam and his team for giving us this, and that too delivering it on time,
Absolutely.
which is very
Fantastic.
crucial, right? So to get
Very,
the
very
production
good.
kicking and going. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk to me about, how many dancers are going to be staged on this, and what is the runtime of the production, and what should an audience who doesn't know dance expect when they come to watch Hanuman?
So I think Hanuman is one character which goes beyond just being a South Indian character versus a North Indian character. I think he's also one of the characters who's known even outside of Indians. I think that's one character, just like Ganesha is. Similarly, Hanuman is. So we are hoping to have some new audiences if possible, and not just the same. Not that we do not want the same audiences, but new audiences want to first realize what Indian classical dance of Bharatanatyam is, and how we can portray it. We don't need to wear costumes. We don't need to have a whole bunch of things that show a particular character. We don't have to become a monkey to show a monkey kind of thing. So that
Yeah.
definitely. It is a 1.5 hour performance, and it is in a traditional set to a traditional margam, weaving the story through the traditional margam of Bharatanatyam. We have our company dancers. It is not a school production. It's actually a company production where we have senior dancers. Our teachers are dancing. I am dancing. And all the post-year engagement students. We do have a young team of pre-year engagement students who we auditioned to have them come in here. So it is of a caliber that I would like to say that is a high caliber performance, and we like to invite as many people to come and watch it. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Akka. I'm just going to do a quick rapid fire because I just want to get into the essence of Hanuman. So, in one word, what emotion? Let me start with Shreelata Akka. Akka, what is the one emotion that you could associate Hanuman with?
Humbleness.
Rupa, what about you?
Complete surrender.
Surrender. I was actually going to ask you strength or surrender.
Yeah.
I'm giving that question to Akka. Akka, strength or surrender, and why?
I would say strength, because I really enjoy portraying his powerfulness and how he has this, how he completely forgot his strength, but immediately when he was reminded, when the mentor came and told him about his capabilities, how he grew in strength for one sole purpose. It is the faith that drives him. So strength, of course, yes.
Beautiful. And Rupa, wisdom or devotion?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think I will go with devotion, because I think once you're completely devoted to something, I just feel that you gain wisdom from that. Wisdom is like a byproduct of complete surrender and devotion. So I would go with devotion.
Beautiful. Okay. If Hanuman were to be here today in our world, like, what was that one thing that he would want artists or like dancers to take away from his life?
I think I'm stuck with the word ego today, and I think I'm going to go with that one. I would like to say that yes, it is great to be. It's great to be capable. It is great to be at the highest point or the lowest point. It is important that it is for yourself that you do something. It is important that you need to find your joy. It is your self-expression, and not to have ego come in the way of sharing it with everybody.
Beautiful. And Rupa, what rasa will you associate Hanuman with? Which Navarasa would you associate mostly Hanuman?
I think Shantam, because I think at the crux of it all, he was very at peace with himself, which is why I think he did not fear going across the ocean. He did not fear to kind of help Rama. So I think unless you're really in peace with yourself, I don't think you can really do anything or express anything. So I would go with Shantam.
Beautiful, wonderful. Thank you both so much. I mean, I just wanted to make this a little interesting because I think, like you rightly said, Shrilataka, there is so much of humility and greatness that we can learn from Hanuman's character. It is just not that he went across the Lanka and he rescued Sita, or he helped rescue Sita, but the emotions that he traversed through with his surrender, with his absolute surrender and devotion, and that I think is such a learning experience for us even today as adults and for kids universally, because we have so many challenges that we see on an everyday basis. And how do we keep our peace, to all the words that you all rightly just now said? How do we be at peace with ourselves and still keep striving to do the best that we can? So I think this is such a beautiful summation of everything that we would want to aspire to be in this world. So thank you so much for bringing this production for the Bay Area audience. I think that there is a wealth that they're going to take away from if they do come and watch. So if people want to come and get tickets, they need to do what?
So we have two shows in this busy Bay Area landscape. We have two shows for that day, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. We do have our tickets on Ludus, and you can either get it on our Insta page, our website, or just ping one of us. We should be there.
Amazing.
April 26th.
And this is on April 26th, and it's going to be happening in Menlo Atherton Theatre at Atherton. So there are two shows, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., and ticket links will also be added on this particular page. So do come and get your tickets. Thank you so much, Roopa, and thank you so much, Shrilataka, for joining me this evening. Wishing you both a wonderful production, and looking forward to seeing you, the entire Vishwa Shanti crew. Actually, looking forward to seeing Hanuman on 20.
There you go.
And thank you so much for having us, Aishwarya. It's always a pleasure to have a conversation with you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Akka. See you.
Thank
Bye.
you.